foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, 𝐤𝐄𝐄, and that's Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls God, in the name of the Son 𝐤𝐄𝐄, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Right? So like, Salakia. Khan. So that's Yahweh, and then that's Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls God, in the name of the Son 𝐤𝐄𝐄, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Right? The topic of this live today is our strength and refuge is Yahweh. Right? Our strength and refuge is Yahweh. Right? Because we go through a lot, especially in these last days. You know, we're going through a lot of you see a lot of the plagues. You know, we're going through a lot of injustices in this so-called land of captivity, right? We're going through the struggles of life. You know, having to pay bills, having to get off work. You know, just going through straight hell, man. Like stressing and anxiety and things like that. And in these last days, we need Yahweh. We need to lean on the Most High, because He is our refuge. He is our strength, right? And the purpose of this lesson, right, is to, you know, encourage, uplift, and remind the body, right, that Yahweh is our refuge, man, and especially in times of trouble, right? Let me get this precept right quick in the book. Just kick this thing right off, man. Let's go to the book of Psalms, right? Let's look at Psalms, chapter 34. And verse number 18. I'm gonna just start at verse 16. It says, the face of Yahweh is against them that do evil, to cut off the remembrance of them from the earth, right? It says, the righteous cry, and Yahweh heareth, and delivereth them out of all their troubles, right? Verse 18, it says, Yahweh is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such as be of a contrite spirit, right? So, right, you know what I'm saying? Hey, the Most High God draws near, right, when we are brokenhearted and contrite, right? So the Most High God also says, and He's cutting off, right, the remembrance, right, of the people that do evil, man, right? He's going to cut them off, right? So this right here also lets you know, right, that, you know, hey, when you draw nigh to the Most High, right, instead of leaning to the world, which is evil and wicked, because, hey, all the things that's of the world, right, is the lust of the flesh, right? Hey, wickedness, right? It's not a, hey, let me get that right quick side precept. It's like, I would have had to just quote it, just might as well just bring it out. Right? 1 John chapter 2 and verse, I'm gonna just go right to the point in verse number 16 that I was quoting. It said, for all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but of the world. So, right? So you gotta draw near to the Most High, right? Because He's drawing near to them, right? That is of a contrite heart, right? Right? And that are broken and contrite, right? You know, you're going through all of these things in the world. You know, you're going through the afflictions, persecutions, right? Whether it be at your job, whether it be just, hey, going to the store, right? You got pulled over 5 times this week. You didn't caught a ticket. right? You may be behind on rent, right? You don't know what to do. You're stressing out, right? And you gotta lean to the Most High, right? You gotta lean unto the Most High in these days, because He is your refuge, right? And He's gonna draw near to you, right? Even like with Job, for example, because Job was going through it, right? This is an example. That's why we gotta go into these scriptures and everything that we're going through, right? We There's no new thing under the sun, right? Somebody, been through it before, right? These things happened aforetime, before us, right? So it's nothing new, right? Let me go to the book of Job, right? Chapter 1. I'm going to start at verse 19. And it reads, it says, behold, there came a great wind from the wilderness and smote the four corners of the house, and it fell upon the young men, and they were dead. So like, and they are dead, and I am only escaped alone to tell thee. So right, this is one of Job's servants, right? You know what I'm saying? Hey, this is one of Job's servants, coming to tell him, hey, one of these, something, the house fell, right? You know what I'm saying? Stuff crumbled down. Job was going through it, you know what I'm saying? His kids just got killed. You gotta read that. You know what I'm saying? His children just died. You know what I'm saying? And one of the servants was able to make it out. And he came to tell Job, right? It said that Job arose, right, and rent. So like then Job arose and rent his mantle and shaved his head and fell down upon the ground and worshiped. Job didn't get irate. He didn't start saying, woe is me, oh, what I'm gonna do, oh, this and that. No, he got down, he fell down and worshiped, right? It says, and it's like in verse 21 it reads, and it says, and said, naked came I out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return thither. Yahweh gave, and Yahweh had taken away. Blessed be the name of Yahweh. And all this Job said not, nor charge God foolishly, right? And that's what our people tend to do sometimes. Sometimes we might go through a little struggle, right? We might go through a little time. And first thing we do, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes our people don't lean to the Lord, right? Not everybody leans to the Most High, right? The first thing they think about is something carnal, right? They behind on rent, so now they thinking about rubbing their hands together, holding their hands on their head, thinking about what they gonna do. First thing they think about is leaning to the world, and they try to devise a scheme for some quick cash, right? And then ultimately, you know, saying, hey, they're not leaning to the Lord, right? You say, hey, hey, they might hit that lick, right? They might uh get that quick cash, but right after that, hey, they back to struggling again and don't know what to do, right? You gotta, lean to the Most High, right? Because Job didn't lean to the world. Job didn't say, you know what, damn, I gotta do this, no, he said, the first thing he did, he rent his clothes, right? He rent his mantle, shaved his head, fell down upon his face, and he worshiped the Lord. And he blessed the name of Yahweh. Shalom. And he blessed the name of Yahweh. He didn't just uh 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 go the hell off, man. He didn't think about doing anything carnal. He didn't think about he didn't think about the lust of his flesh, right? He didn't seek after the world, right? He sought after, right, the face of the Lord. He worshiped, right? Let me get this in the book of Psalms, right? Chapter 50. Chapter 55, right? And verse number 22. gonna just start at verse number 20. It's the book of Psalms, chapter 55, and verse number 20. And it reads, it says, He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. Right? He hath broken his covenant. The words of his mouth. Oh no, it's like it. I'm not gonna get that one. That's not what I wanted. Con, this is what I wanted, straight to the point. Psalms 55 and verse 22. Salaki is what I wanted. Right? It says, Cast thy burden upon Yahweh, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. Right? Hey, you gotta cast your burdens upon the Most High. Right? Right? You gotta, hey, no matter what you're going through, right? You could be going through, you could be catching hell, right? Hey, brothers, hey, sisters, hey, especially in this truth, hey, even in the world, and we not even able to perceive it, we catch hell, right? We catching hell, man. These wicked laws, right? That's devised by our by this country, right? They're not for us, right? It said we, hey, these laws are set against us, right? Everything that we intend to have or to achieve, right? We get always set back, right? Got to get up every day, right? The crack of dawn, right? To go to a job, right? And work 40 hours a week, right? Sometimes 60 hours a week, right? Just to not even really be barely making it, right? To pay the rent, to pay all the bills, right? Every month, right? So, we might want to, we might have to go without certain things. Some people go without eating sometimes, right? This is all a part of affliction, right? Catching hell, right? It's a burden, right? But we gotta cast that burden, unto the Most High, right? Because if we cast our burdens to the Most High, right, like it said, right, He won't suffer the righteous to be moved, right? He gonna sustain you, right? He gonna make sure, you know what I'm saying, that you're seeking, that you have comfort, right? He's gonna comfort you. He's gonna sustain you. So you can't go out looking for worldly comfort, right? You can't get a quick fix, right, to a long problem, man. You just can't get a quick problem solved. You gotta, cast your burdens to the Most High, and let Him sustain you because He's strong. He's your strength, right? Let me get this other precept in the book of First Peter, right? Book, this other precept, First Peter, chapter 5, classic. The book of Peter, chapter 5, and verse number 7, and it reads, I'm gonna just start at verse. I'm gonna start up soon. I'm gonna start at verse 6, and it reads. It says, "Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of God, that He may exalt you in due time." Right. So that's not being proud. That's not trying to fulfill the lust of your flesh, right? That's not trying to fulfill. That's not seeking after the world, right? And worldly comfort, right? You gotta humble yourself, right? Because the pride of life is not of the Father, like it said in the book of First John, chapter 2, and verse 16, right? You can't be seeking after the pride of life. You gotta humble yourself, right? You can't say, oh, there's no way that you say it's like you can't say, oh, yeah, I'm gonna just do this because no, there's nothing you can do, right? It's nothing you can do, right? You just gotta lean on the Lord in times of affliction, right? You gotta lean on the Most High, right? Because He's gonna sustain you in these days, right? He's gonna give you the strength, right? The Most High God is your refuge, right? Nevertheless, I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna read it again from the top. First Peter 5, verse 6. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of God, that He may exalt you in due time, right? Casting all your care upon Him, for he cared for you, right? And the Most High God, and he cares for his people, right? You know what I'm saying? And you gotta cast all your worries upon the Most High, right? You can't just, as soon as something happened, you quick to go and do some folly, man, right? You quick to go and try to seek comfort of the world, right? You go and you try to go and hey, roll up the weed, right? You try to go and hey, get the bottle, right? You try to go and hey, lean to other things, man, right? You gotta hey, cast your cares upon the Most High, right? Because he cared for you, right? Nevertheless, you see what I'm saying, and that also goes to show ultimately that you trust in the Most High God, that you trust in Yahweh, right? You gotta be trusting in the Most High, right? Let me get the Book of Psalms. And that trust, hey, that's leading to faith, that you got faith in the Lord, right? You got to keep that. You got to have faith. You got to have trust in the Lord. You got to be trusting in the Most High. And trusting that you know that, guess what? He's going to deliver you. Trusting and knowing, right, that, guess what? He's going to sustain you. You got to trust in the Most High, right? And you got to keep your faith strong in the Lord. Because, hey, if the Lord is our refuge, right? If the Lord be for us, hey, who gonna be against us, man? Right? Let me get this in the book of Psalms. He ain't ever going to suffer the righteous to be moved, like it said in Psalms 55 in verse 22. Let me go to this. It's the book of Psalms, right? Chapter 18 and verse. I'm gonna just start at verse 1. It says, I will love thee, O Yahweh, my strength, right? It says, Yahweh is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer, my God, my strength, in whom I will trust, my buckler and the horn of my salvation and my high tower, right? Yeah, you gotta love the Most High, man, right? You know what I'm saying? Hey, because the Lord is your rock, right? And he's your strength, right? And he's your stability, right? Hey, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what a fortress is. It's a stable, a stronghold, right? That you could be protected, right? You know what I'm saying? Hey, because, hey, the world brings instability, right? When you lean on the world, lean on things out for the world, like the cigarettes, like the weed, like the drinking, like the freaking off, right? It's unstable. It brings instability. It's nothing that's gonna last, right? Because hey, the afflictions that we go through, right? Hey, it breaks us down every day, right? We get broken down. We ain't nothing but feeble dust and ashes, man. Like, hey, and over time, hey, our body gets weak as we get older, right? We start to lose certain things, right? Like some people might lose their memory, and some people might lose their bone and joint strength, right? As we get older, right? But hey, with the Most High God, hey, He's stable, and He's going to sustain you, right? There's no instability with the Lord, right? Because he's steadfast, right? And Yahweh Shai, we got to keep the faith because that's the rock of our side. That's the rock of our faith right there, right? Yahweh Shai, keeping the faith, you know what I'm saying? In Yahweh Shai, trusting in the Most High, right? So you know what I'm saying? The Most High God, and He is our strength, right? And He's going to keep us stable. He won't suffer us to be moved as long as we keep trusting in the Most High God, Yahweh, right? And keeping our faith, right? The faith that Yahweh Shai taught, right? Keeping our faith, and following the actions of Yahweh Shai, right? Let me get this other precept right quick, too. I don't intend to make this long, just, you know, some exhortation through the spirit, like to encourage, right? My family, Yasha Allah, it's Israel, the Hebrew, right? To encourage my family, right? To keep the faith, right? To stay strong, right? To lean on the Lord, right? In these last days, right? Because we are in the last days. Whether you like it, believe it, or receive it, hey, this world will come to an end. You know why? Because it's unstable, right? We got the wicked running these things and running us rapid, running us to the ground, running this earth to the ground, running this world to the ground. And guess what? The Most High God, right? He's going to come and stabilize everything, right? Let me get this in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 29, right? In verse number 11. And it reads, it says, "For I know the thoughts that I think toward you, saith Yahweh, thoughts of peace and not evil, to give you an expected end." Right? It says, "For I know the thoughts that I think towards you, saith Yahweh." Hey, the Most High God, hey, He has plans for you, right? And He knows your thoughts, right? And the plans that He has for us, it says, He said He knows, saith Yahweh, thoughts of peace and not evil, right? To give you an expected end, right? The peace that's coming to us, right? We gotta keep that. We gotta keep that. Our eye on that, right? Meaning we gotta keep our heart on that, right? You know what I'm saying? We gotta keep our minds. That's what I mean. Our minds, our hearts. We gotta keep it set, right? On the the thoughts that the Most High God has for us. Thoughts of peace and not evil. Thoughts of life and not death, right? To give us an expected end, right? That was what when we pass away, right? When this flesh passes away, right? When it deteriorates, right? When it gets old, right? But guess what? Our spirit, right, is gonna live for eternity, right? Peacefully. You know what I'm saying? And we gotta remember that the Lord, hey, He's not slack, right, concerning His promises, whether it be the promises of destruction for this world, right, and the promises, right, of peace, right, for His people that love Him, that trust in Him, right, that keep the faith, right. And it says to give you an expected end, right? The end we all are expecting an end. But what type of end are we looking towards? What type of end are we right now preparing ourselves for, right? Because those that lean into the world for comfort, they're expecting they need to be the expected end for them is evil, is death, because you didn't lean on the Lord. You leaned on the world. And the expected end for those that leaned on the Most High, right, whose refuge and strength is, right, you know what I'm saying? Hey, their expected end is peace, right? Let me get this the other one right fast in the book of Psalms. Another precept. The book of Psalms. Right? The book of Psalms, right? Chapter 48. It's the book of Psalms, chapter 48, and verse 14. It says, "For this God is our God forever and ever. He will be our God even unto death." Right? Because Yahweh, right? He's our God, right? The Most High God, right? He's going to be our God forever, right? It's not going to change, right? How the world changes and they try to say that God changed. No, it's just the world changed. But the Lord, right? He's steadfast, unchanging, unmovable, right? But the world will try to say that God loves everybody. No, the Most High God said He loves His people, Israel. Then He means it now. He means it forever until, hey, guess what? The Lord, hey, punches the clock on this place, right? You know what I'm saying? Hey, it's going to be forever, right? And He's going to guide His people even unto death, right? Even unto death. When His flesh goes away, He's going to guide you unto death. He's going to take your spirit, right, up there, and it's going to be at peace, right? So you got to keep trusting in the Most High, right? Because no matter how much the world changed, no matter how much, right, they try to come out with these ideologies, you know what I'm saying? Hey, the scriptures say what it say. The Lord said what He said in His word. The Lord put the words a prophecy in his prophet's mouth to say, right? And if the Lord said it, it is what it is, right? You gotta just deal with it, right? Let me get the book of John, chapter 10, and verse 29, because you gotta trust in the Most High. And if you trust in the Most, you can't trust in instability, right? You can't put your trust in man, right? Let me get that right fast before I get this precept. Because a lot of people trust in man. They trusting in their pastors. See a lot of people doing it. They trusting in their president, right? You know what I'm saying? Hey, they trusting in all of this. They trusting in all of these things, but they're not trusting in the Lord. And ultimately, that's what gets you killed, right? That's what gets you cursed, right? That's what gets you things that's unstable. That's what brings instability in your life. You try to put your trust in things, in man, right? Some people, hey, lean to a woman. Some women lean to a man, right? Some people lean to weed. Some people lean to cigarettes. You know what I'm saying? Some people lean to the drugs, right? You know, and that's not what you need to be leaning to, right? That's not what you need to be putting your refuge in, right? You need to have your refuge, right? Seek refuge from the Lord, right? Right? You need to seek you need to seek refuge from the Lord, right? Because hey, He's going to protect you from these days of affliction, right? From this anxiety that we go through, this high levels of stress that we go through, from sickness, right? From worrying and doubting, right? He's going to be that one that's going to protect us from these things, from fear, right? Because it said in First Timothy, 2 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 7, I believe. Yeah, come on. First Timothy, 2 Timothy chapter 2. Sorry, 2 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 7. Yeah, con. That's what it was. Yeah, con. Yeah, because the Most High God hasn't given us the spirit of fear. But He's going to protect you from that in those days, right? When fear comes on this earth, because the spirit of fear is out here. People are going to be scared in these last. People are scared in these last days, right? When they start seeing the destruction happen, and the Lord can protect you from that spirit of fear, right? And you need and if you can't lean on, and you can't just grab a daggone teddy bear and squeeze it and put your thumb in your mouth and say I'm scared. No, you gotta believe. You gotta trust in the Lord. You gotta put your faith and trust in the Most High because He's gonna protect you. He's strong enough to protect you, right, from the fear. He's strong. He's strong, right? He's gonna guide you, right? You can't put your trust in man. Let me get this precept in Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse number 5. And it reads thus, saith Yahweh, cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departed from Yahweh, right? Because if you put your trust in man and you departing from the Lord, right? And if you depart from the Most High, right, and you're going to get caught out there, right? Because ain't no man going to protect you. Can't no man pluck you from out of the hands of the Lord. Let me get this right quick in the book of John, chapter 10 and verse number 29. And it reads, it's the book of John, chapter 10 and verse 29. And it reads, my Father, which gave them me, is greater than all, right? And no man is able to pluck them out of my Father's hand. And this is Yahweh Shai, who the world only calls Christ, Jesus, right? This is Yahweh Shai, right? You know what I'm saying? And He said, my Father, which gave them me, right? Hey, we are, you know what I'm saying? Hey, we are commanded to follow Yahweh Shai, right? We gotta follow His example, right? We are under Yahweh Shai, right? And Yahweh Shai, the Most High God gave Yahweh Shai, the nation of Israel, right? To cover them, right? To keep them protected, right? As long as we following what Yahweh Shai did, right? And when He taught, right? We're gonna be protected, right? And He says, my Father which gave them me, He's talking about Israel, is greater than all, right? Hey, the Most High God is greater than everything, right? You got all these false ideologies, right? These false religions, right? You know what I'm saying? These damn doctrines of devils and traditions of men, right? Out here, right? And people putting their trust in that, right? When they put their trust in these things, right, they depart from the Most High, right? Like it said in Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse 5. You depart from the Lord when you do these things, when you trust in man, when you trust in the traditions of men, when you trust in religions, right, that's created by the philosophies of wicked, evil people, right, who wants to seek the preeminence, right, of the Most High God, but they can't, right, because, hey, the Most High God is greater than all, as Yahweh Shah says, right, and no man is able to pluck them out of my Father's hand. Hey, if you dwell in Yahweh Shah, it's like if you dwelling in the Most High, following Yahweh Shai, right? If you dwell and you seeking refuge in the Most High God Yahweh, while by following Yahweh Shai, right? You know what I'm saying? Hey, can't no man pluck you out of the Most High's hand because the Most High God is greater than all, right? Greater than any man, greater than he's greater than all the creation because he created everything, right? Why would you want to follow the creation and not the creator, right? You would be a fool not to. You'll be a fool to follow that, right? Because we got to remember, right? The Most High's plan for his people, right? The Most High God's plan for his people, right, is for good, right? Let me get this. You got to be abiding in the Most High, right? Because if you abide in the Most High, right, it brings you peace. Let me get this other precept. Let's get a few more. I'm going to get ready to close up through the Spirit. All right, I'm going to go to the book of John, stay in John. The book of John, chapter 14, in verse number 1. This is the book of John, chapter 14, and verse number 1. And it reads, "Let not your heart be troubled. Ye believe in God. Believe in me also." Right? So Yahweh Shai said, hey, don't let your heart be troubled. Right? You know what I'm saying? Hey, because you got to keep faith in Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, right? You know what I'm saying? Hey, because, hey, faith in the Most High God while following Yahweh Shai, hey, it removes fear, right? It removes anxiety, right? It removes, right, stress. It removes doubt, right? Because if you're following Yahweh Shai, you're keeping the faith, right? Because Yahweh Shai had faith in the Most High God, Yahweh, right? You know what I'm saying? And he taught it, right? He taught it to his people, right? The people that he came and was sent to, right? You know what I'm saying? No matter what the world will try to tell you, to shake you, right? To deter you, to get you to depart from the Most High, right? If you abide in the Most High, right, it brings you peace, right? Because you know what your peace is. You know what your expected end is. Hey, it's the kingdom, right? It's the kingdom of the Most High God, right? So you got to keep that faith, right, and abide, right, in the Most High God by following Yahweh Shai. And because if you following Yahweh Shai, he's going to bring you in to the Most High God, Yahweh, right? And you're going to abide and dwell there, right, with Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, right? Nevertheless, let me get this other precept, right? Because you can't be, if we trust in the Most High, right, we can't be shaken in these things, man. We can't. Hey, our faith won't be shaken, right? When we trust in Yahweh, right? When we put our trust in the Most High God, right? Our faith won't be shaken, no matter what trials in life that we go through. Okay, yeah, this is what I want. I'm gonna just hop down to verse 18. Huh? It says, "I will not leave you comfortless. I will come to you." So, right, Yahweh Shai, right? You know what I'm saying? Hey, won't that's the comforter, right? He won't leave us comfortless, right? You know what I'm saying? It's because Yahweh Shai, right? If we lean on and follow what he taught, right? And follow the spirit that he left behind, right? And let that guide us, right? Guess what? We won't have no fear. We won't be we will have peace and not comfort. It's like we will have peace, right, in this world and not evil, right? And not stress, right? Our minds to be at ease, right? Because we have peace, right? And we are following Yahweh Shai and what he taught by like he said, keeping the commandments of the most high God, right? And just ultimately doing what following his actions, right? Following what he taught, right? We'll have peace, right? And as long as we following Yahweh Shai, right? That's a boost, and our faith will be boosted, right? Right? And guess what? It's going to bring us peace. Because when we got faith and we trusting in the Lord, trusting in the Most High God, Yahweh, right? You know what I'm saying? What do we got to stress about, right? If we got faith, if we trusted in the Most High, right? We ain't worried about nothing else, right? Let me get this other precept. Let me hop up. Verse 16. And it says, and I will pray the Father, and he shall give you another comforter. And it's like that he may abide with you forever, right? You know what I'm saying? Hey, and this other comforter, right, is this Holy Spirit, right? The understanding that the Lord, right, knowing, right, that we are, you know what I'm saying, understanding, right? I say rather knowing, but believing, right? Trusting, right? That the Most High God, right, is going to do what he said, right? Because he always has and he always will, right? Because he's steadfast, right? He's not unstable, right? Like man is. He's not unstable like the world is, right? He's steadfast and he's going to do what he said, right? Let me get this. The next chapter, John 15 and verse number 7. And it reads, if ye abide in me, right, and my words abide in you, ye shall ask what ye will, right, and it shall be done unto you, right? So if, like I was just saying, and we abide, right, in Yahweh Shai, right, you said by following his word, right, by doing what he taught, right, by applying and making these things making these things vicarious, right, meaning applicable to our, and we apply these things to our life, right? You'll say, hey, guess what? Anything that we pray for, right? Anything that our hearts think of, right, of righteousness, right? Hey, the Lord is going to add it to us, right? Let me get this quick. Let me get this quick precept in the book of Proverbs, chapter 16, and verse number 3. And it reads, commit thy works unto Yahweh, and thy thoughts shall be established, man. So when you can, in your works, right, is the works of your faith, right? Right? These works, right, that we work in, right, we got to work it in righteousness, hoping, trusting, believing, right, that everything that the Lord has said and he will do, right? And we can't have no doubt in that because he will do it, right? Because he said he would, right? So comfort doesn't come, right, from the world. It comes from the Most High, right? So we can't keep putting our trust in man, right? We can't put our trust in worldly things in these last days, right? We gotta keep, right? You gotta keep the faith, right, in Yahweh by following Yahweh Shai, by working what the Lord, what Yahweh Shai did, by putting these things, right, in our works, putting these things in our actions, right? Not just saying that we trust, we believe with lip service, right? We gotta really put forth our hand to the plow in these last days. We get a few more, right? Let me get the book of James, right? Go to the book of James, chapter 5, verse number 13. It's the book of James, chapter 5, in verse number 13, and it reads, is any among you afflicted? Let him pray. Is any merry? let him sing songs, right? So when you are, right, afflicted, or when you're going through affliction in these days, right, you high levels of stress, anxiety, hey, you get worried a little bit, hey, because hey, it happens. And anybody that say that they didn't, they'll be a liar, man. They'll be a liar, because it happens. People get stressed, people get worried, right? Hey, we go through affliction, we catching hell, right? But during this affliction, hey, you gotta pray, right? You gotta pray. Hey, you gotta sing joy and praise unto the Most High, right? You say, hey, because prayer is what connects us to the Lord, right? And you say, hey, prayer is what is our ultimate connection to the Most High. Is our message to the Lord, right? Is our plea to the Lord. That's what we gotta be doing in these days, right? You know, say, hey, trying to find, you know, say, hey, trying to seek the Lord face, right? And through these times of affliction, hey, we gotta pray harder, man. Hey, I wish he prayed so hard he started bleeding, man. Out of his pores, he started sweating blood, man. Right? The stress that he was going through, guess what? In the mid, hey, he went to go pray, man. He stepped off from everybody, went to go and pray for hours, right? But nevertheless, nevertheless, it's the book of James, right? Chapter 5 and verse number 13. And it reads, is any among you afflicted? Let him pray. Is any merry? Let him sing songs. Let him sing Salakia. Let him sing psalms. Salakia. So with our prayers, we gotta be, hey, if we going through affliction, hey, we gotta pray. Because that's our connection to the Most High. Right? Let's go to the book of First Peter chapter 5, right quick. First Peter chapter 5 and verse number 10. It says, right? But God, but the God of all grace, who have called us unto his eternal glory by Yahushua Hamashiach, after that ye have suffered a while, right? Make you perfect, establish, strengthen, settle you, right? So look, you know what I'm saying? Hey, the God of all grace, right, has called us to an eternal glory by through the blood, right, of Yahushua Hamashiach, right, who suffered a long time. And he suffered. Hey, we're suffering. We're still suffering today, right? But guess what? He's gonna strengthen us, like it said, right? He's gonna make us perfect, establish us, and strengthen us, and settle us. All of the instabilities of life, of this affliction, right? Guess what? He's gonna make us settle, right? He's gonna make us stable, right? He's gonna stabilize us, right? Make us perfect in these last days. So through all of cause remember, all of this suffering that we are going through, this affliction, it don't last forever. It's temporal, right? It's temporary, right? The Most High God, hey, he's going to strengthen us and establish us in these last days. Let me get the book of John again. Let's go back to the mighty book of John. St. John, chapter 17. St. John. Yeah, a few more minutes. Close up. Got a few more and close up. This is the book of St. John, chapter 17 and verse number 15. And it reads, I pray not that thou shouldest take them out of the world, but that thou shouldest keep them from the evil. Right? So Yahushua, right? He prayed for our protection from evil. He didn't pray that we could be removed from struggle, right? And because through this struggle, it brings us strength, right? Some people, they're not capable of withstanding the struggle, right? But guess what? Some of us are, right? We all gotta be. This is an exhortation to exhort you all, right? You said, Yasha Allah, right? That, hey, to stay strong, right? Have the power. You have the power, right? You Yasha Allah, right? Stay encouraged, right? Because we're gonna go through these afflictions, these minor afflictions. They're not gonna last. They're temporary, right? And Yahweh Shah prayed that we stay from evil, right? Pray, right? But not from struggle, because we're gonna go through it. Yahweh Shah went through it, right? All of the prophets, right, went through it, right? Even teachers. But did that stop them? No, they endured and they kept on enduring. Let me get this last precept, Salaki. The book of Psalms, chapter 91. The book of Psalms, chapter 91. And I'm going to start at verse 1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of Yahweh, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in Him will I trust, right? So with that, Lord willing, right, this exhortation exhorts you, hey, to stay encouraged, right, to lean on to the Most High, right, for refuge, right, for strength, right, for protection against the wicked, evil spirits that afflict us day by day, right? Affliction don't last always, right? But our spirit will. And if you fall and get tempted, right, by the wickedness and weakness of this flesh, right, and you just stay there and you just let it happen, you just keep on letting it happen, right? You don't lean to the Most High, but you put your trust in man, right? The Lord will depart from you. So Abaratazah, Lord willing, this lesson, this exhortation, right, was edifying, and y'all apply these things, and y'all remember and be encouraged. And don't forget to trust in the Most High, to lean to the Lord. Cast your burdens upon the Most High because He cared for you. With that, give all honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Kwame Shala, Shalom.